Vegeta was a very unlikable and annoying character until the later stages of the Buu Saga / Super. His tirades of Saiyan pride and Tsunade-like actions to Goku had me hating his character more than ever. We're gonna start off anything with Yap. Might as well start it off with your hot takes, man. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's get into your goddamn forsaken hot takes, bro. People who dog Goku for being an airhead while failing to acknowledge or even know he spent majority of his life just learning martial arts are the real representative of Dragon Ball fans can't/don't watch the show. By the way, he said can't read/don't watch the show. I mean, yeah, anybody who like, I understand if you think Goku is a books idiot, that's fair. If you think Goku is like IQ test, hey Goku, what's 8 times 9? I don't know. Fine, have at it. There's a lot of moments in time where Goku is literally spoon-fed to the audience. Hey, this guy on the screen isn't that bright. That's fine. Anybody who doesn't think Goku isn't a battle genius, oh, gang, oh, you're an idiot. And I'll go a step further. You know, like all those times where they'll have like 9 different anime main characters, but they say equal power, equal techniques, or some other shit. How strong would Goku be? Would Goku win? I'm telling you, there's a handful that, of course, would probably beat Goku in an equal stats argument, or if they were real life boxers argument, but it's a handful. Like, Goku is a battle genius, like literally an insane battle. There's one thing the boy does know is know how to fucking box. So yeah, I 100% agree. Anybody who doesn't think Goku is a battle genius, that's ridiculous. Someone might have this, but the original dub voice for Kid Goku and Kid Gohan absolutely clear the awful Kai dub voice, and her coming back for Daima is such a massive W. Colleen isn't a bad actor, but I hate her take on Gohan and Goku. Yeah, so a lot of people have an issue with a certain dubbed voice of Gohan. I'm assuming this is the voice he's talking about. I don't really mind it, but for me, as long as the message is getting across, as long as the character isn't getting diluted, I don't really have an issue with it. If you think that that's what Colleen is doing on Gohan, then go for it. But I do think that there is one that's definitely better than the other, and I'm sure Stephanie is better. I don't really care. Hot take, the Red Ribbon Army arc was not that great of an arc in my opinion. Most of the time, I just felt like the arc was just there to show how strong Goku had gotten. Other than Tao, the fights were mostly a snooze fest and mediocre. And then someone says, counterpoint, wouldn't that be majority of Dragon Ball? One, I wouldn't say it's bad, but I don't know who's calling it great. If people are calling it great, then sure. But I don't know how many people will say original Dragon Ball best arc, Red Ribbon Army. I don't think that's what they're doing. Now, I will say this. We reacted to the manga on stream, and some of you guys are manga readers, manga forte readers even, to the point where you may be more relative and emotional and even energetic to the manga reading. What I will say is for anybody that just watched me react to the manga without watching the anime, please watch the scene where Goku destroys the Red Ribbon Army in the anime. That scene is ridiculous. I will say that it has some strong points, but the Red Ribbon Army arc definitely has some lows. It's a cool callback in the future in Z, obviously, but it's definitely not like I'm gonna sit here and lie to you like General Blue is this hymn of hymns, and then Mr. Black is this hymn of hymns, and things like that. It was a solid arc. I don't think most people are calling it great. I think it's a part of a great series in original Dragon Ball, but it's certainly not even a top 2 or even 3, now that I think about it, arc in original Dragon Ball. So I would just question who's calling it great. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is a peak Dragon Ball video game character, but a mid GT character. I mean, so here's the thing, and GT fans always like raise their pitchforks and torches and shit, but I'm gonna like quadruple down at this point. I just think that Gogeta was kind of designed to fail when you had to make him do that get the negative energy out thing. Like when you had to go that route, damn, it really hurt. Like at that point in time, what would have been even more entertaining for me personally is for Goku and Vegeta to try to do some shit like that. Now, I don't know how you write that in considering the massive power gap, but that like I would have rather seen Goku and Vegeta themselves try to be goofy or anything like that, especially Vegeta. That would have been funny. And then, all right, fuck it. The energy, the evil shit's gone. Cool, whatever. Now they're fused, and now we can just see Gogeta beat someone's ass. I think that would have been much more entertaining than Confetti Kamehamehas and essentially an adult Gotenks thing going on there without it actually being adult Gotenks, because adult Gotenks probably would be cool. And also the moves are somewhat underwhelming, so I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. Mid is just the a word that now is such a negative word, even though it's supposed to mean average. I think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is a very cool average ass character. I don't think he's 2024 definition of mid, but I do think overall he's just an average character. Like, there's no way in fuck I'm saying Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is cooler canonically than really any other fusion, to be very honest. Outside of Piccolo, I guess. Yeah, I'm taking Gotenks, Gogeta from the Fusion Reborn, Gogeta from Broly especially, taking Vegito both times. Yeah, I'd probably say of those fusions I've listed, yeah, he's not in that conversation. Another hot take for you: the story of Dragon Ball Z should have been the exploration of the Saiyan race, but the ultimate final villain should have been Frieza. Sure, that messes up power scaling, but the story would be so peak. Okay, so this is like fan manga out of the park. I think if at some point you're beating a dead horse, I think if Dragon Ball Z needed to triple down to the point of damn near, how long is Dragon Ball? Like 304 episodes? Is even that long? For like 291, let's just roughly call it 300 episodes. If Dragon Ball Z needed 300 episodes for the payoff of the Saiyan race, let alone Goku's fight, battle of nature versus nurture, sure, I guess I could see where you're coming from, but that is, I think, beating a dead horse. I'm not gonna lie. You would have to continuously find new ways to make finding more about the Saiyan race interesting for such a long time. And at that point, I feel like a lot of characters would get devalued. 1, 2, it's already an issue in Dragon Ball, but man, way to make it worse in the sense of, oh, if they're not a Saiyan, they weak as like, my God, if you had an entire story around just Saiyans and finding out about Saiyans, and the biggest big bad of all is the one op to the Saiyan race, my God, way to tell me that Piccolo, the Earthlings just do not matter anymore. Holy shit. I think absolutely this is an interesting manga in terms of like some fan Kakame shit, but in terms of what actually happened though, I am more than good. Honestly, you were right about Gowasu. If he really was trying to make Zamasu a Kai, he would have / should have did a double take and found the right race of mortals to convince Zamasu that mortal life is worth protecting. Yeah, you know, I don't get a lot of you were right in my hot takes. I get them sometimes in the comment section. I get people pushing their own agendas. But when we're talking about hot takes, I don't get a lot of Sage was right. Yeah, there's no way. I don't care what Zamasu stand 247 is going to tell me. If Gowasu really was confident and or good at his job, he would have, 1, realized that his student was about to crash out. It was pretty fucking obvious. But then 2, he would have easily been like, okay, whoa, I don't know what that's about. Let's sim even further down the line. Or you know what? Maybe these niggas is tripping. Let's go to other examples. Yes, I know Zamasu had been birthed this thought. He's been thought these things. But Gowasu should have went out of his way to show him that, yo, mortal life is worth protecting, bro. Yo, there are good mortals, if you will. Like, even if that sounds crazy, but Zamasu's a crazy nigga. He could have done several fucking things. Hell, show him Goku's race. What the fuck? And whether that's a good thing or bad thing to introduce this nigga to the Saiyans and Earthlings, to each his own. And maybe it would have been interesting for Zamasu to have seen a good mortal and for him to be like, that's the good version. There's so many ways that you could still get to where Zamasu is in terms of being a crash out, while also saying Gowasu was good at his job. For me, Gowasu failed miserably, and that's why it led to a miserable failure of a student. Goku unlocked MUI too early. Him mastering Ultra Instinct in the same tournament he gets access to it is OD. He should master it towards the end of Super, so he still has some progression, because all they can do now is make a new form or something. Yeah, so I'm not gonna spoil for you. So this is one of those moments where a manga nigga could sit there and be a manga nigga, okay? Because let's just say, gang, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Now, in terms of an anime-only conversation, I don't have a problem with him unlocking Mastered Ultra Instinct, because even by your parameters, I'm just gonna change the word there. Yeah, gang, he didn't master the form. Literally, in the last like 10 seconds of the fucking episode, him and Vegeta do the square off of each other in Blue Super Saiyan, which I kind of fuck with, kind of don't, because stop rehashing old things. But at the end of the day, he like vividly states that he didn't master the form. And I even fuck with the concept of that he's going to be chasing a Mastered Ultra Instinct if I have to stick to just anime knowledge. But if you read the manga, you'll be fine. Oh wow, so a completely different opposite end here. Goku is becoming overrated as a martial artist. Broski has never used it to win a fight and instead has always had to be stronger. Goku? Kakarot? Son Goku has always needed to be stronger to win a fight. This is why I keep telling y'all, man, sometimes y'all must watch original Dragon Ball, bro. Like I keep y'all, please. Original Dragon Ball is so fucking fire. And I'll go a step further. If you're gonna be an oddball about it and be like, oh, he didn't win the fight on certain fights in Z. If you want to say, oh, well, he didn't win the fight against Cell. He didn't win the fight against Beerus. He didn't win the fight against Vegeta. All of these things, I guess, are fucking fine. But the idea that in Goku versus Vegeta, Goku versus Frieza, Goku versus Cell, and literally Goku versus Buu, which I don't know about you, but in Dragon Ball Z, the four main antagonists, Goku wasn't using a severe amount of martial arts and techniques to even stand a chance, let alone surpass his villains, is ridiculous. We could even go into Super. Goku is always using martial arts, and even if the issue is, oh, he doesn't get the W with these big brain martial art tactics, the idea that would... There's just so many flaws with this. But I get what he's going for. He's going for the idea of when has Goku outsmarted his opponent to win a fight. That's what he's going for. There are certain things where I can nitpick and we could debate these things too as well. So like I could debate prior to transforming into a great ape, Goku would have beaten Vegeta clean with martial arts. Now obviously is a scorching take because Vegeta wasn't fucking dying. But you could argue at that, like for a strong moment in time, it actually appeared Goku was going to win those. But that's very contentious. I can see that being like, all right, nah, Sage, he wouldn't have won. Because for the most part, I agree with you. He wouldn't have won. When you get to Frieza, he stood no chance. That arc was demonstrating that, hey, gang, you got to embrace your Saiyan nature because Saiyans are fucking strong, bro. Especially the legendary one. But Goku was obviously dwarfing him in terms of martial arts. And then Goku against Cell, literally, I mean, case in point, does it again. He's just, again, not strong enough. When we go to the Buu saga, I think there, if you don't count the Spirit Bomb or whatever, go for it. But I think there, Goku was like literally gassed. Now in Super, unironically, that's where you get a lot of ammunition to debunk this take in terms of getting the W. Because Goku fights hit. I don't know if it's filler. It might be filler. But even the canonic one where Goku fights hit, he kind of just beats him with he kind of just beats him with martial arts. I mean, he's able to like stop time skip with literal base, and then I know in the filler he just does. In the filler he does literally beat this nigga with martial arts. He like what was it, the prediction thing? Hit comes out with like Shadow Clone Jutsu or some shit, and then Goku just starts like OD predicting shit, reviving himself and some other shit. Yeah, Goku just straight up wins there, but that's filler, fair enough. But yeah, long story short, I get where he's going with this. He's like, Goku doesn't win via just martial arts, therefore it's not a W, because even against Jiren, he displays these things. I guess for me, even if you want to have that agenda push, I guess I would say Dragon Ball has always been about a combination of power and martial arts. Furthermore, the idea that he's overrated, and again, I'll show you what his take is, not his supporting detailing argument, but the overarching take of Goku as an overrated martial artist because he doesn't defeat somebody with it, like it's not the final blow. I think that's very disingenuous. But that's just me, and we yapped about that enough. Oh, speak of yap. Goku versus Caulifla and Kale. Yeah, now that's a clean one. Goku versus Kefla, let alone Caulifla and Kale, is just clean. Yeah, that's clean. He beats them with martial arts. 100%. 100%. Ultra Instinct is literally seen as like the pinnacle of martial arts, let alone prior to that when he was fucking fatigued of hell. He was out there just straight up outsmarting them, powering up when he needed to. But yeah, Goku versus Caulifla and Kale, that is the cleanest W. So there you go. If that doesn't count for you because it's not the main antagonist, then I hear you, I guess. But speaking of yap, Super Saiyan Rage is peak. You just need to open your eyes. Vegeta was a very unlikable and annoying character until the later stages of the Buu saga / Super. His tirades of Saiyan pride and Tsunade-like actions to Goku had me hating his character more than ever. Majin Vegeta made it even worse when he was having a tantrum. No. Now, I don't know what's going on in the TSO community. This is the second time it's been this like weird dig at Vegeta, not in the sense on some Mikey shit where Vegeta sucks, but that like he's not good for Goku's character. And I don't know, that's not exactly what he's saying, but it's heavily implied. And y'all, please stop that shit. But to address directly what he said, in terms of Vegeta just being unlikable, I mean, that's fine. You could argue that he's very, very, very much not a flat character at all, but a repetitive character. And he's a very flawed character. So if you don't like those flaws and you don't like him repeating those same mistakes, then yeah, you can find him very, very annoying very quickly. However, where I would have an issue with me saying that he's annoying is, I think that's kind of the point. I think the point is Vegeta was such a person. I think Vegeta is such a Saiyan. Like, he's literally eye rolls. He's such a fucking Saiyan to the point where, sure, he's seeing other people get stronger working with each other. He's seeing other people get stronger when they have someone to fight for even. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. And while he routinely does surpass his own ceilings, he doesn't reach the ceilings that whole time Vegeta just could reach. Vegeta, if Vegeta was smart, if Vegeta was laid back, not saying that Goku's smarter than Vegeta here, but if Vegeta really wasn't on some, I gotta get stronger Super Saiyan, I gotta get stronger Super Saiyan, I guarantee you Vegeta could have figured out the gap to full power Super Saiyan, let alone Super Saiyan 2 in a year. I don't think anyone in this chat would sit here and say Vegeta doesn't have what it takes with that year of training to hit the ceiling or at least full power Super Saiyan. It's just that knowing who Vegeta was when he was in the time chamber, he was just chasing grade 2. The way he went about it, he was chasing a potential grade 3. He probably has grade 3 in the tuck. Then maybe that's headcanon. Vegeta probably could do grade 3. It's just he knew, oh wait, that shit is slow as fuck. Like, you'd have to be a fucking idiot that never fought a day in his life to do that. But I think there's several things about Vegeta's character, even in the Buu saga. At some point, I could also admire how much pride that he has. Yo, this nigga really is like standing on business consistently, and I fuck with it. So for me, it's fun to call him a loser, absolutely, but I don't find Vegeta annoying. My hot take would be that Super Saiyan 3 isn't nearly as bad as many are saying it is nowadays. Sure, its introduction into the series could have been better, but if the form was expanded upon, I feel like there's potential. Plus, the Vegeta #1 scene is important with Super Saiyan 3 since it shows Vegeta understanding of how Goku will always find a way to break his limits. I feel Vegeta's respect for Goku wouldn't hit the same if they were equals as Super Saiyan 2. That last sentence is just objectively true, but you could have Goku be stronger. But that last sentence technically is true. In terms of Super Saiyan 3 being overhated, I mean, I think it's definitely in the yin yang right now. I think Karthu, he's gonna see himself as a hero. I think he's done some damage to the community because now niggas are like, I don't like when society and trends, it's one thing to revise things, sure. I don't like when things are put on a pedestal, taken off a said pedestal, but then we act like it wasn't on the pedestal. You know, that's my issue. If we're gonna look back at Super Saiyan 3 and say narratively it wasn't that good, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with an analysis of that. But when then people go as far as to be like, it's not that fucking cool. Actually, it shouldn't exist. Bro, you were the same one that talked about that screen was your favorite moment in Dragon Ball. So that's kind of where I agree that it's overhated now because people act like they just don't even like the form. I like the form. I just understand that it has a ton of narrative flaws into it. Hot take, Piccolo should have a kid. He has the ability to do it and would be an easy way to train a new Z fighter and have the option of merging. Nah, it's a weird move for Piccolo to want at this moment in time. He still sees himself as a mentor to Gohan. Gohan still sees himself as a protege there. Gohan's still relatively young. For Piccolo to have this desire of raising a next generation, I don't see that yet. Now, when Piccolo gets old, wrinkles, Kami old, and Pan is, oh shit, Pan. And Pan is like around where Gohan is now, and Gohan's around where Goku is now, and Goku is older. Oh yeah, sure, Piccolo might, you know, hawk to a kid somewhere. Pause if needed. But seriously, go like Piccolo could have a fucking tot at that point. But for me, I think I'm glad I mentioned Pan because now, yeah, hell no. Piccolo with Oob on the way, with Pan and Gohan still being there, and Gohan's not old. Yeah, nah, he doesn't need one. Especially a bullet. Oh my god, I mean, bruh. Yeah, nah, he doesn't. Next gen Namekian would be cool, but he doesn't need one. He doesn't need one right now. Adult Goku's Japanese voice sucks ass and keeps me away from watching sub. The reason why this is interesting is because we don't see it the other way around now. That's interesting. We do not see it the other way around. Usually it's the dub voice acting is so ass, yada, 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 can't stand it. This one saying Japanese Goku's ass. Now, this isn't me being a closet dub fan picking sides, because I don't hate Japanese Goku. I don't. I think even a step further, the GT fans in that one reaction where we were debating sub versus dub, now that we're not in that video, oh, the sub scenes were better. I think there was one scene where the dub scene was better, but I think it was two of the three. I was like, oh, the sub scene was better. I think Japanese Goku is great at getting the shit talking side of Goku. I think when Goku's talking shit, fans like sub Goku's probably better. But at the end of the day, I don't think either are bad. I do think Sean Schimmel's better. I think that's the coldest take in history. But yeah, no, I don't hate it to the point where I can't watch sub. And these sub dub debates in 2024 are nasty, but that's what we're doing. I don't care about Goten's potential. He's a failed version of Gohan, and in the story of Dragon Ball, where we are seeing characters pursue improvement in individual strength, the second son of the main character is garbage. I don't like your reasoning, but I do not give a shit about Goten's potential. I'll say that. I don't get your reasoning that he's a failed Gohan and because he's the second son of the main character. I don't get that at all. I don't see that as a reason to not care about his potential. But I don't give a shit about Goten's potential. I think there's a lot of things. One, you were onto something, but you just drew a different conclusion. In Super, where everyone is pursuing individual strength and improvement, what are you gonna do with Goten? Maximize Gotenks? Because he's never really shown an intrigue outside of fighting with Trunks to be stronger. So yeah, you kind of already written yourself into a wall of you gotta keep him with Trunks at all times. So I don't really care about Gotenks getting their moment. And then you would have to tell me that Gotenks would not only get their moment, but Gotenks would have to at any point in time realistically be the reason that, like, hey, they're the reason Earth is saved. So I don't care. When we're talking about just specifically Goten, they're working on it now, but yeah, you haven't made the character interesting enough. Outside of he's Goku's son, he looks like Goku and he turned Super Saiyan at the youngest age. That's literally it. Goten fans, you're gonna have to be upset about that. I'm not saying that he's a shit character for it. I do think his shoulder hurts, but I'm saying in terms of me caring about Goten's strength, we're talking just potential, just fights. There's too many characters with much higher upsides, hell, just straight up higher potentials even, for me to care about essentially the C-list, if not B-list potential of Goten, on top of him having to be someone that I like buy into and then care about later on. Like, it's like, it would take so much for me to be like, okay, bet it's Goten time. Imagine Goten being a conclusion to an arc. You see what the fuck I'm talking about? So yeah, I agree. I just don't see your reasoning of, oh, well, he's a failed Gohan and he's the second son of the main character, so it's not gonna work. I don't see that. Well, we got a Rage Bait one to end it off. Goku Black Saga is better than Namek and everything else, plus Rage was a better transformation for the first time than 2 in 1. Well, Bait used to be believable. That's my hot take. Bait used to just be believable. But if you guys want some more baity ass hot takes, click this video right here. If that's what YouTube recommends for you, you might get a movie or some shit. I don't know. By the way, make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 120K. Take care, stay blessed. We'll see you next time. But yeah, man, that was horrid. 1 out of 10 at best bait.